Let's talk some American football. Woo-wee! Because we had a nice NFL weekend. We had a little college weekend. It felt like everyone got beat. Tennessee got beat. Bama got beat. Roll damn Tide. But in the NFL, because that's where we're keeping our bread and getting buttered, because we're into it. You just got to be honest. It starts out on Thursday night, and we had the Houston-Philly Festival, where the Eagles played the Texans while the Phillies played Houston and the Astros. How fun is that? Stayed closer than you would have thought for a little bit, but Eagles get it done. They improved to 8-0. They win 29-17. Dameon Pierce had a big game, and this Houston team's got a lot more fight than you'd expect for a 1-6-1 Houston team. But at the end of the day, they are dearth of talent. I think I'm using that word right. While the Eagles are stacked 8-0, man. I know you already know they have Commanders, Colts, who just fired Frank Reich. And that's how bad they looked the other day, that it looked like that would happen. Commanders, Colts, Packers, how bad did they just look? Titans, that's going to be a big one. Titans just looked kind of good. We'll get there because it's an interesting conversation with Willis and what they're doing over there. The Giants at the Meadowlands, I don't know. Eagles looking like they got a good chance to be going 9, 10, 11-0 into a game versus the Titans. They are dominant. They're a force. Let's see what it looks like.
Last time the Astros won the World Series, who won the next Super Bowl? Saw that tweet.
Wow. You got to believe in something. Not that. I'll tell you something I believe in. I was breaking out the teams into tiers recently just to see where everyone lands, and that high tier seemed real thin where the Eagles are. I think there's a tier below. I think a team just joined it. I think two teams just joined it. The first team, the Chargers. They're 5-3. They won a game at Atlanta. I told you that Atlanta team is tougher than they look. They're 4-5. Again, talent-wise, stuff that doesn't jump off the page. They did have Cordarrelle Patterson come back. That really makes them have a three-headed monster at running back, Algier, Patterson, and Huntley. And Mariota, I guess. But in today's NFL, they go on the road and they win. And that's kind of all I care about. A Falcons team that was leading the NFC South. Chargers win. They're now 5-3. I think Herbert has been banged up. For sure Herbert has been banged up. We all saw it happen. They are now winners of 4 of their last 5. Texans, Browns, Broncos, Falcons. They lost to the Seahawks, who, holy smokes, Seattle. I think we're going to find out more about the Chargers as they go at 49ers, home versus Chiefs, and then Cardinals, Raiders, Dolphins, Titans. Okay, they've got a real stretch. So they're 5-3. I still love Herbert. I know he's been banged up. I know their whole team has been banged up. They're getting talent back. They have entered with 5-3 in their talent. They can be something else, something serious. We'll find out in the next coming weeks. Falcons are who they are. I mean, that team reeks of 8-9.
Yeah. Where that division is right now.
Right. That could end up being something for them. The other team that deserves the love, they've been Jakey's flip-flop team, and the schedule and the injuries have represented it perfectly. The Dolphins hold off the Bears 35-32. Justin Fields puts up huge numbers. A lot of people are starting to drink the Justin Fields Kool-Aid. 178 yards on the ground. Holy smokes. 17 of 28 through the air, 3 touchdowns. One of the bigger fantasy days you'll see from a dude. That being said, there's still the Bears. I know the offense is doing some things. They're 3-6. And it looks like Fields is getting better, but it still was not enough to win against this Dolphins team, who Tua, 300 through the air, 3 touchdowns, no interceptions. Tyreek is doing his thing, as is Waddle. Their formula is there. Again, I think they're closer to a barometer team than a good team, although, like Penix said the other week when we called him, their losses are more or less without Tua. They have the Browns and the Texans coming up. There's a good chance they get to, 8-3. Let's see. I'm still, as you can tell from my voice, I'm still not bought in on the whole thing. I think they're closer to the barometer than an 8-3 team, but keep proving me wrong, Dolphins. Bears, hey, they're enjoying Fields, and Bears haven't really enjoyed a quarterback ever, so enjoy it at 3-6. Bengals, 42-21 over the Panthers. Joe Mixon, speaking of legendary fantasy days, 5-touchdown day for Joe Mixon. Bengals, 5-4, 5-2 in their last 7. They dropped those first 2 weeks, if you remember. Still had that weird one. They got embarrassed at the party by the Browns, and everyone saw that. The running game, they just couldn't stop it. Steelers game coming up. I think that's a night game. That could be a dub. Should be a dub. Steelers still stink. And then they go Titans-Chiefs. So we'll find out more about the Bengals. I still want to like them. They have their problems with the offensive line. And, again, what the defense? What happened to them against the Browns? That worries you. Joey B and the boys, I like where they're at. 5-2 in their last 7. I think that's more reflective of who they are. Speaking of reflective of who they are, Lions and Packers. Holy smokes. Our Bobby Skinner got me good. Because it's a great video of head coach Dan Campbell giving the speech. They give the game ball to Aaron Glenn. Yes, that Aaron Glenn. He's their defensive coordinator now. The former D-back. Not Diamondback, defensive back. They win 15-9 over the Green Bay Packers and Aaron Rodgers. Yeah. Absolutely Looney Tunes what has happened to those Packers. 3-6. They'd been such regular season juggernauts with the same formula. Rodgers, LaFleur. It has gone by the wayside. And I don't know how much is Devontae Adams being gone. I don't know how much is Rodgers getting old or Rodgers getting disconnected, but wherever you turn on your sports, you're going to find him getting slaughtered this week. And why not? 2 red zone interceptions. That's kind of inexcusable. They get held to 9 points, shut out in the first half by the Detroit Lions. The Lions team that we've talked about getting blown out and killed every week. Here are their points allowed. 38, 27, 20, 28, 45, 29. That was a game they got shut out. 24, 27. So, coming into today, the least amount of points they'd given up was 24 to the Cowboys. And again, that could have been more. They lost that game 24-6. So if the Cowboys wanted to score more, I think they could have. Packers get held to 9 points. It is disaster mode over there. People are calling for when you draft a quarterback, Julian Love a couple years ago. Some people are starting to call for that. It feels like Rodgers last year in Green Bay. What does that mean? I know the Broncos were eyeing him for a little while, but they just gave up everything for Russell Wilson. Bye week.
Get kind of a big extension.
Bye week didn't lose. He's getting paid like $50 million this year to go 3-6. So he is getting crushed, rightfully so. Where Bobby Skinner made me laugh. He said the 3 Lions wins every year are the most emotional thing ever. And yeah, watch the Dan Campbell speech. It's powerful stuff, but at the end of the day, they are 2-6.
Rodgers signed a 3 for $150.
Not bad, right? Not bad, right? So yeah, Packers are a mess, a franchise that is almost never a mess. Interested to see the repercussions of that this offseason. But they're kind of DED dead. They'd really have to find something, and they've looked awful. Speaking of looking awful, you just heard Frank Reich got fired. Colts are 3-5-1. I want to give them a lot of respect as a franchise. Jonathan Taylor's been out. He's looking like one of the bigger 1-1 fantasy football busts we've seen recently. That's tough. And let's be honest. They're playing a rookie quarterback, Sam Ehlinger now. Matt Ryan looked awful. Like their formula this year to be successful was Matt Ryan was going to be a good game manager, get the ball to Michael Pittman when you needed to, Jonathan Taylor on the ground. That formula has been gone. They're 3-5-1, and I'm getting deeper and deeper into football. I want to get into the nerdy side. I want to get into some of the stuff that's going on. And as we ease into that, there's one thing I know. Rookie quarterback against Belichick, those guys get murdered. And especially Sam Ehlinger, let's see what you become. He got sacked 9 times.
9 times.
103 yards through the air. 0 touchdowns, 1 interception. I think the Colts were averaging something like 1.9 yards per play, which was their worst since 1977. Game's changed a lot since then. But Bill Belichick against a rookie quarterback has not. They are now 5-4. Your Patriots have a winning record. They've won 4 of their last 5. They have Jets, Vikings, Bills coming up. That's going to be a difficult stretch for them. If we're being honest, the Patriots are closer to a barometer team than the Dolphins. Like, if you're a good team, you're probably going to beat the Patriots. You're a bad team, you're probably going to lose to the Patriots. They're probably your barometer. But 4 out of their 5, interesting 3-week stretch coming up for them. And it ends tough, too. So, I don't know. I know I told you guys a little bit that this was going to happen for the Patriots, that they were going to get back in the mix. Might be time to sell, because Jets, Vikings, Bills, Cardinals, Raiders, Bengals, Dolphins, Bills. Not an easy win on the schedule. It would be the Raiders, but it's at the Raiders, and I don't know. That team's been better than their record shows, although they are dead. Bills, Jets. This was one of the biggest ones this weekend. The New York Football Jets win against the Bills 20-17, and that's the biggest word here, and this is going to sound dumb, but it's win. It wasn't the Bills blew this game. It wasn't, 2 muffed punts and the Jets took advantage. They won this game with their defense and making the plays at the right time. They had Josh Allen kind of shook. His stat line is tough, 205, 2 interceptions. And it could have been more than that. There was a lot of throws that balls were hitting Jets defenders' hands. They had him fooled. The stat out of this one is the Jets only had to blitz twice in this game. And this has always been the formula in the NFL. If you can get pressure with your D-line, that's the best way to beat a good quarterback, because that means you have the most people defending. Worked for the Jets. Their defense under Saleh is real. They're 6-3. Wilson makes the one throw at the end to basically ice the game to make sure Buffalo doesn't get the ball back, which that's massive in the NFL, we know. And how big is their Browns comeback game that they should have not won week 2? Otherwise, they would have been 0-3. Instead, we're talking about them being 6-3. Patriots, Bears, Vikings, Bills, Lions, Jags. They've got wins on the schedule. Jets looking like a playoff team. Their biggest win in so many years. All the Jets fans were on cloud 9 yesterday, and good for them. Vikings, Commanders. Vikings go to 20-17. A game it looked like they were going to lose against the Commanders. They're 7-1. And I don't know what to tell you. I mean, close wins over the Lions, the Saints, the Bears, the Dolphins, and now the Commanders. They're winning games. Credit to Tall Coach. Kirk Cousins on the plane. Everyone's seen that now, him swagged out. Everyone kind of thought that was cool and fun at the time. The internet's starting to come the other way and be like, I don't know, they're kind of treating Kirk like their loser friend a little bit. And in a way, he is. They're going to Buffalo. Wow. They're going to Buffalo. I didn't realize this next week. Buffalo coming off that loss to the Jets. That feels like humble pie time. Let's see. Maybe the Vikings are looking at their opportunity. They're feeling great, man. They're 7-1. They don't care about close wins. They're winning football games. Bills, Cowboys. Then they got Patriots, Jets, Lions. Revenge game versus the Jets. Lions, Colts, Giants, Packers, Bears. So, yeah, Bills are going to end up where you want them. But, yeah. Or, excuse me, that was the Vikings. They're going to win a ton of games. They're going to win that division. But, yeah, everyone, they're not passing the sniff test for a lot of people. A 7-1 sniff test. 5-3 sniff test? Yeah. 7-1, I don't know. Good for them. They don't care. Keep winning games. Poop Bowl, Raiders, Jaguars. Jaguars and Trevor Lawrence comes back. Raiders lose another game, being up 17-0. The fact they're 2-6 is insane. There's just something missing there, whether it's in the team or Josh McDaniels. Again, this was his next shot. Jaguars, good for them. I mean, the wheels were completely coming off. Trevor Lawrence gets a come from behind win. Him and Peterson, you can believe in that and what it's becoming. Etienne with another 100-yard game. It's a good Jaguars 3-6, right? But it's an awful Raiders 2-6. Terrible. The Seattle Seahawks, when are we going to stop doubting them? Cardinals were favorites in this game. Seahawks end up winning 31-21. Hammer meet nail on the final drive to put this game away. Geno Smith, tell me if you've seen this stat line before. 26 for 34, 2 touchdowns. There is the 1 pick. Kenneth Walker III, 109 yards on the ground in 2 touchdowns. They know who they are. Noah Fant, who I loved and was in that Russell Wilson trade. He goes for 5 catches and 96 yards. When he's in open space, he's incredible, including the 51-yard catch at the end to kind of put it away. Cardinals death march, man. 3-6. Seattle Seahawks are 6-3. Look at the different talent on those rosters. Look who's leading them. Cliff Kingsbury, who essentially failed at Texas Tech. Pete Carroll, who has been a staple and successful in the NFL. I think that kind of tells you everything you need to know. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Tom Brady. I felt like everyone watched this. I got involved in Marathon Day a little bit. Interesting. I don't know. I was out of place a little bit. I think you either need to be young and partying or old and just like the marathon. I was kind of in a tweener area. I don't know. Did you do anything?
Like a fun group. My friend ran it, met up with him and some other college guys.
That's cool.
For a drink. That's
cool. We didn't have that. Whatever. Everyone's excited. Enjoy Marathon Day.
Congrats, Mrs. Judge.
Woo!
She had a decent time.
Bucks, dead. Dead in the water. It's over. Him and Rodgers, they're dying together. How beautiful is it? As the Rams are about to get a nice road win to get back to 500. Nope. Tom Brady, 44 seconds left on the clock. 1 big pass down the middle. Couple sideline throws. Penalty. Touchdown. He has a great Tom Brady press conference. Felt like he had something lifted off of his shoulders. Head coach Todd Bowles. If they had gone to 3-6, imagine the crucifixion that they would have been under today. With where their division is at, 4-5. They're set up fine. Maybe Brady and the boys can tap into something after that offense looks so lost. The him and Leftwich hug, that's pretty cool. I mean, Tom Brady cares, man, and I know he's got a lot going on. That win felt massive for him. Dumb jokes online. Tom Brady undefeated as a divorcee. Chiefs, they win at night. Titans gave them hell. Chiefs find what they need in the fourth quarter. Mahomes' magic came out. Really cool to see that. You forget what he can do scrambling because it just looks unorthodox. I mean, it's not crazy fast. It's not powerful, but it's just enough every time. They beat the Titans. Titans had him by the balls. They kind of got away from Derrick Henry at the end. Bad holding penalty. They could have iced it. Playing with Willis and not Tannehill. It was looking like this was going to be a hard sell for Willis if they beat the Chiefs in Arrowhead. They do not. And now they're looking for Tannehill. But these Titans are just... Coaching is important. Look at the Seahawks. Look at the Titans. Rabel is now established. Carroll knows what he's doing. Coaching really matters in this league. There's so much turnover everywhere else that if these guys are holding down a job, it's for a reason. And this Titans team believes and rallies in everything that they do. They're going to be back. It's going to be super interesting to see if Tannehill can be healthy enough for them to be a threat. And then will they be a threat?
And that is the ever-present what is Tannehill question.
And then we saw from Willis, I mean, he passing-wise, he's not where he needs to be. He can run a little bit. It's exciting when he does, but passing-wise, he was scared. And that's a tough thing to learn in the NFL until you do. Browns, Cowboys, Broncos, Giants, Steelers, Niners on the bye. my Broncos, BBD's Giants, no losses this weekend. Pretty nice. And then tonight, Ravens Saints. Let's see what that Saints defense, if they're real. Let's see if the Ravens can get to that 6-3 area. Ravens -1.5. That's probably tighter than you think.
No Mark Andrews.
For good team, mad team. Let's watch. That's kind of your football weekend. College is getting to a fun area. Maybe we'll start dipping our toe more. Until now, I think we'll see you guys Wednesday. Baseball, free agency, that's huge. Maybe that'll just be the big thing. I don't know. We'll let you guys know. Football preview always. I forgot. Love. Watch everything.